Okay, Ari, welcome to the Soccer Reels podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is awesome. We first met your freshman year.
Yep.
And at the time, you had a striker playing over you. I think it was Abby
Gibbons.
Gibbons is her last name. And Abby is now at Princeton, right? Okay, but we're not talking about her today. We're talking about Ari. But that was good for you to have in the beginning because
for sure.
To fight for that position and try to become and learn things from her was really cool. So we met your freshman year. One thing I do remember about you is I came back your following year, sophomore year. I came to your high school team's tryouts. And I
already know what
came
you're
in
gonna say.
and no one knew who I was. Everybody's looking around. Everybody's asking questions. Who's this guy? And Ari says, I think you even knew my first name as well. You said, I think that's Ryan, the video guy, which I think was your words exactly.
Yep.
And everyone else was like, I don't know. And then I think you came up to me and asked, right?
I did.
And you said, you're Ryan, the video guy, right? And that was before Soccer Reel's name came through. And I was like, yeah, I am. And of course, I expected everyone to remember me, but only Ari remembered me.
Yeah, people were betting me that you weren't. And
oh, really?
I was like, yes, it is. Like, I know I'm right. Like, who else would it be, first of all? Like, there would not be like a random guy.
That's awesome. So I'll always remember that. And then, so that was just your sophomore year. Then we had 2 more years to go, your junior year and senior year. And now Ari Maibodi is, do I say your last name right? It's Ari Maibodi. Perfect. Cool. She is now a rising freshman going to UNC Charlotte. She's starting up all her training this week, but I won't ruin that for you. We'll let you tell everybody. And I actually got to speak with your high school coach yesterday, and he sent me a little message. Aww. And this is just to let everybody know a little bit more about you before you tell us. And this was Coach Bucky's comments about you. Players and people like Ari are known as glue. They are the ones that make parts into a whole that is greater than its pieces. They make the good times better, every day a joy, and every struggle worth it. If you do not have players and people like Ari, you may think you have a team, but you do not. You have talented players, but not a team. She creates the bonds and relationships that extends beyond the field of play. She's the glue. And if you are lucky enough to coach and know people like Ari, you will never, ever forget it.
Oh, he's the best. He texted me yesterday, too.
Did he?
Yeah, just like telling the team that I was starting my college experience, and it made me happy.
Oh, he told the team.
Yeah, he like texted us like thinking about Ari while she's like starting her college experience, and it made me smile. It was right after my fitness test, too, so it made me happy.
What do you think? Him referencing you, and it might not be the last time he does it this year, to some of those girls that are still there. Do you think that not only brings tears and happiness to them, but it also kind of pump them up? Or
yeah, I think it's going to get them excited for the year. We were a big class that left. We were like half the team. It was like 9 of us. But so I know they miss us, but they can do what we did. They can be seniors. They can be leaders. I know they're going to be excited. And I'm going to be there all the time, considering I'm only 30 minutes away. So they won't miss me too much.
That's very true. When you were little, I just want to get to know you a little bit more. You know, I've only known you for a couple years. When you were little, did you see yourself where you are now? I know a lot of people see themselves as like being a soccer star. Is that what you saw, or did you have other visions?
I mean, when I was little, I have 2 older brothers, so like I always wanted to beat them in everything, even though I couldn't because they were just physically bigger and stronger than me. But they all played soccer, so I kind of followed them and got into it. But I knew from little like that I wanted to play college soccer and that I wanted to be this big time soccer player if I could. So it was always the dream, because I'm not into dance and like ballet and stuff. I was into like pushing someone over because of my brothers.
Did you try a lot of other things?
I did dance for 6 years and I hated it. I quit like every year. But I did dance. I did like basketball. I did a lot of different things, but soccer I knew was what I was like good at and what I could stick with.
So that was your family's main sport overall? Like your parents were into the sport and all
that? No, they were all pretty much into soccer. We loved watching like football. Like my brother played football, but that's about it. Soccer was the main sport.
At what point So what age was that when you realized, or was it always that way and you were just fighting your parents through the other stuff?
I mean, early on, like, I did not enjoy soccer, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I cried my first practice, like, bawled, and my mom had to hold my hand and run with me. And so I thought it was going to be dance. I really thought, like, dance. I was like, yes, like, I did this for so long. My cousins did it. But I didn't like wearing the pretty buns and the tights and stuff. I wanted to, like, be, like, sweaty and gross and, like, push people over. So it didn't take very long to realize that I wanted to be a soccer player or something physical. But, yeah, I just did it.
Yeah, we could not see you going out and dancing.
I know, me either. And I did not have a talent in that whatsoever.
Actually, I can see dancing, just not in
pretty
on a stage and with your hair up.
Yep, nope, me either.
Like yeah, you pull off the sports look really well. Yeah,
thanks.
That is so interesting. So, what age was that? What age was that when it was that whole mindset of dance, soccer?
I was like 4.
This is all when you're 4 years old.
I was like 4, 5, 6, yeah. And then I pretty much just nailed it down with only soccer when I was like 6. Because awesome. I tried to juggle both. Did not work out.
Juggling sports is hard. It can be done, but it's tough, especially in today's world where it's year-round, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So was it just the letting go of your mom? Is that what it was? Like when you didn't have a good experience that first practice? Can you envision like where it was and everything?
Yeah. Oh no, I remember. Yeah. Like even being that young, I really remember.
Tell us a story.
So we were literally just dribbling across the field. Like that was our first thing, just to take the ball and kick it across the field. And I was just bawling. Like I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't know these people. Like I was never a shy kid, but like I never wanted to like go out of my comfort zone. And I was always with my mom. Like me and my mom are very, very close. So for her to get up and hold my hand and run across the field with me meant a lot. And after that, I did not want to go back, but she made me. And thankfully she made me. So yeah, it was definitely letting go of my mom and like me doing it on my own at such a young age without even my brothers there. Like I did gymnastics and I made my brother go with me and like do gymnastics with me. And he didn't like it. He did not like it at all. But
wow.
Yeah.
So your family's had your back the whole way through. Huh?
Oh, for sure. Like even now. Yeah. They're always there.
Yeah, I bet your mom will never forget that either.
Yeah, she definitely won't.
Yeah, I had some instances like that too, where my mother like made me like do certain things in soccer, go to certain things, and oh my gosh, it gave her such a pain, but I'm glad she made me do it. What is your favorite memory? That's probably one of your first memories.
Yeah.
Right? What is one of your favorite memories of soccer up to this point? Probably like getting signed to Charlotte was a really cool thing. Yeah. But what's your favorite memory of soccer?
Definitely junior year semifinals of like the state championship. Myers Park had never won a state championship or a semifinal game. And everyone came out like it looked like a football game, which women's soccer is not respected like that. And it definitely was my favorite memory that people were like cheering for us and like knew we could do it and knew we were like unstoppable. But yeah, that was by far my favorite memory because it just showed a big community bringing to like support us and support what we did and what we've been fighting for. So that was by far my favorite memory.
Now was your favorite, how did that game go? Did you score in that game?
Yeah, I had both goals, 2-1.
So that probably added to it.
Yeah, it really did. Just hearing everybody cheer. Even though the first one I got injured, like I got kneed in the stomach right when I scored it, so I couldn't even cheer. But second one I got to cheer. So it was happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It definitely was a cherry on top.
So the excitement, I'm sure you had excitement when you scored.
Yeah.
I'm sure the most excitement was after the game when it was just like you guys made it.
Right? For sure.
Why is it so important with everything that we've said, you growing up here and playing and having maybe these family ties you talked about tie into it? Why is it so important for you to stay and play here at UNC Charlotte? Yeah.
For sure, a big part of it's my family. I've always been a mama's girl. Even me and my brothers, we fight so much, but they're like my number one support system. And I know my mom can come out to every game and she'll be at every game, even if they're away. But Charlotte was close to home and I knew I wanted to stay home and stay in front of a home crowd. So that was definitely like one of my main factors. Like I just want to stay home to family and all of my friends. If they come home, I'll be here still, and I can watch Myers Park women's soccer. There's a lot of perks to it. So,
now did you discuss that with your family beforehand, or
about staying close?
Yeah.
My dad wanted me to stay even closer. I don't know. Like I was like, I don't know how closer I could get, but that's what he wanted. And yeah, I mean, Charlotte's always been like one of my number one schools since I was little. I've been going to camps there since I was 8. So I always looked up to the older girls, like, I want to be like them one day. So Charlotte was always, like, on my list, like, since I was 8 years old. So it was, like, a no-brainer when I got the offer. I was like, I'm going to pretend like I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be like, okay, I'll think on it. But, like, I knew, like, that's where I wanted to go. And so, yeah, they've known for a long time. But it was just about getting that goal.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you most excited about going there? Is it, I mean, I'm sure that's a big part of it, staying close to family, but what is something exciting that like you're looking forward to that you haven't got to experience yet?
The people there are awesome. The staff are awesome. That was a really big part for me too. All the players have been so inclusive, but I'm really just excited to like get at it with them and get with a new team of people I can look up to who are like 21 and I'm only 18. So like, it's definitely a big gap versus like me being a 14-year-old and an 18-year-old like with Abby Givens. But they can like, it's the same age difference, but I still feel like I'm talking to an adult rather than like someone in high school. So I know I can learn a lot of things from older people and older girls, and the coaching staff is just amazing, and so are the people. That's a really big part to me.
Yeah, that's a big part especially as a freshman.
Yeah.
You're going to be coming in not only learning what the coach has to offer every day, but you're going to be learning from all these other girls on the team every day. So for you to know that going in is huge. And of course it's competitive and you're trying to, beat everyone on the field, but to be able to pick up and if you have good teammates and older, players, they'll offer that to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have players, and you don't have to say them right now, but do you have players in mind already that you want to learn a lot from on the team?
I could just go ahead and say her name. I have not really gotten to know her at all, but Megan Green is a center forward for UNC Charlotte, and we don't really know each other that well right now at all. Like, I think I've talked to her twice, but from watching her play, she reminds me a lot of Abby Givens, and Abby Givens was definitely a big mentor for me when I was a freshman, and now I'm a freshman, and she's a captain senior, center forward, blonde, runs the same, acts the same. So I know I'm going to learn a lot from her and her strengths and stuff. So I'm excited about that.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
You have like one of the most fun personalities I've ever seen.
Thanks.
Off the field, of course, is what we're talking about. How do you handle that personality of just being this fun, interesting person, and then when you hit the field, I mean, I don't see that at all, right? Like, you've got game face on. What is your mentality when you're like game day, game time, warm-ups, all that stuff? Because I know when I can talk to you and have fun, and I can give you a look at the beginning of the game, and I might just like give a little wave, but usually I don't even talk to you because I know that, your game face is on. So what's your mentality on like a daily basis of like a game and stuff like that?
Game day, leading up to game day, I'm going to be a jokester. I want people to be relaxed and comfortable before going to the game rather than just like being screamed at. But when warm-ups start, we're still joking around, but making sure like we're getting the ball in the back of the net. We're being sharp. It can't just be a joke through warm-ups. But as soon as the whistle blows, I go straight face. Like, I'm not the same Ari that I am off the field. Like, I'm like full on, like, I'm going to beat you. Like, I want to win. And I'll still crack a smile sometimes if something funny happens on the field, because you don't want to be so like stern. You want to be lighthearted sometimes just to get the team like comfortable. But I'm completely a different person. People always say it, that when I'm on the field, like, I turn into like a full on, like, I'm in this to win and I'm not in this to joke. But yeah, my face goes straight for sure. But with good intentions, yeah.
What is your communication? Sometimes I can hear players if they're towards the side of the field. So some of the other players that you played with at the club level and the high school level, I can kind of hear them. I don't hear you as much because you're in the middle of the field and there's all these players in between. How do you usually communicate with your team? I know you're probably like trying to keep up your midfielders and stuff throughout the game. But talk us through your mentality, like on the field working with your teammates.
So for sure, I'm not like I'm going to scream at you if you mess up.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, no, I will never do that because I've experienced that, and I know players get their head down when somebody screams at them that they do like actually listen to. Like when Bucky screams at somebody, sometimes they either put their head down or they show off and show like why I can be here. So it just depends on personalities. But I'm more of like I'm going to motivate you. Like, okay, well maybe when you shoot this ball next time, keep it low. Or I'm more of like, I'm going to go up to you after the play and talk to you. Like if the ball's out, like me and like Agatha will sometimes talk to each other, and or me and any other forwards or midfielders will just like have a quick conversation before the next play happens, like whether it's almost a corner or a goal kick or anything like that. I'll have more on a one-on-one, like in your face, like let's talk it out, so I can see what they have to say. But I will scream sometimes. Like sometimes people need to like be put in their place and they'll respect it. Like they'll need to hear it, and like I'll need to hear it when people say it to me, and I really respect it. But I'm more on like a one-on-one, like let's talk about it quietly rather than let's not just scream at each other and get frustrated.
Like let's analyze it real quick, figure
like
out
what happened and why did it happen and what can we do to fix it.
Gotcha. I like it. We talked about your family a lot. Are there any other resources that have really helped you along the way, whether that be teammates that were great resources or coaches, and we talked about your family already, but are there any big resources that you think back and it's like, wow, like that really helped me get to where I am?
I've definitely had coaches in the past that I've actually like built relationships with where they've like taught me more than just about soccer. They've taught me about life and how it can pertain to the game too. But people like Bucky, Ian Dennis, Gary Forbes, they've been like true mentors to me, and they've showed me like what to do on the field and off the field. I remember when Gary Forbes pulled me over for practice, like the first year he was my coach, and he said, you need to practice like you're playing a game because you're doing a 50% right now and you need to be practicing at 100%. And I said, okay. And I completely changed my attitude. Practice then to me was very serious, and I was there to compete and play against my teammates and to get each other better. And I definitely learned that from now on. So like my coaches have been great people to me. John Cullen is my Charlotte coach now, and he was actually my coach when I was 8. With his daughter. Yeah, we were on the same team.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
So he coached me when I was little, and he saw me grow up because he coaches at CSA as well. So he's seen me grow up through the program and stuff. But they've all been really big help and like support systems for just caring, like not just coaching, but caring about each player and me. So yeah, but also my family.
Yeah, and your family.
Can't forget about them.
So when he pulled you aside, that was how old were you then?
I think I was maybe a freshman or a freshman. I think it was freshman year.
So that's a big deal for him to say that at that age.
Yeah, for sure.
Because imagine if it happened 2 years later.
Right. It definitely put me in my place. And he said it in a very respectful way. He was like, listen, Ari, like, this was when he was deciding on who he wanted to be captain. And he was like, I want you to be captain, but you need to show to the team that practice isn't a joke. Because everybody would just kind of go through the motions and stuff. And he was like, just play hard, play 100%, and show them why they need to be here and why they need to like show up, because it's not just to run through the motions, but it's to get ready for the next game. So we need to play harder than we would in a game.
What do you see as your unique skills on the field? I can name a few and I can think of a few, but what do you think some of your unique skills are? And again, these are things you've learned from coaches and things like that, right? It's not all like you just woke up one day and you had them. Like people have helped you develop to get to that point. But what are some of the unique skills that that you like to use in games. It could be, on the field or just anything.
I think I have a high soccer IQ. I watch a lot of soccer with my family, and just like continuing to watch older people play. I think that when I get on the field, I can make decisions that sometimes other people won't think of, which I think helps me a lot. Like balls that I can play in, times I can go myself. I think that's a really big part of how I play and how I project what I can do onto the field.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot, especially your junior and senior year, where you seem, your soccer IQ, and you're able to think very quickly. You can be a step ahead, 1 or 2 steps ahead, where I'm watching up from the skybox, and I still don't even see it coming, right? And just gives you a lot of room to work with. But I do agree with you. I think that your soccer IQ and being able to read the game quickly is huge. Many people believe that getting to this level and playing at this level, at this high level, and you've been doing it for a couple years, but it starts to get overwhelming. How do you get overwhelmed? Do you learn, or do you have great ways of handling it? I've never seen you that way, but maybe it's kind of just like the vibe that you give off.
I definitely get overwhelmed. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Almost like all the time I get overwhelmed. It's completely normal. There's definitely been moments where I've sat on my bed just crying, like, why am I doing this? I'm tired. Like, why do I have to do this? But at the end of the day, it's what I love to do. So even though I get overwhelmed a lot, I realize I go over that, and I realize that I do really care about what I'm doing, and I've put my whole body on the line many times, and it's gonna hurt. And you're going to go through blood, sweat, and tears, but it's part of the game. So everyone gets overwhelmed. Even if they say they don't, the highest levels get overwhelmed.
Agreed.
But I definitely do. But it's all worth it.
And what gets you up every day for the last 4 years, especially over the summer? Like, I know you've been doing a lot. And with the just that high level of feeling overwhelmed, it's just a lot going on. It is, especially for someone your age. How do you get up every day and keep going? Like, what pushes you? I want to know what pushes Ari Maibodi to keep going.
Yeah. I mean, it's simply that I just love the sport. Like, I love to be challenged. I love to have players that are better than me go against me because they're just going to make me better. So just soccer is pretty much my whole life, and it has been for the past 10 years. And I wouldn't want it any other way. So that's what makes me, even when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I really do not want to get out of bed and go on with the day and go to practice because it's going to be hard and I'm tired. I just think to myself, it's all worth it, like I said before, and I love this sport, and I just want to keep doing it for as long as possible. And even that, I was questioning, do I want to play college soccer for a second? But I know that if I didn't, I was going to regret it, and I'm thankful that I didn't because now I'm having the time of my life.
And a lot of that sounds like you just love competition.
I do. Right? Yeah, I'm definitely a competitor.
What are some other non-soccer things that maybe they're family things or other things you have competitions in? Or you're very competitive about?
Yeah, anything that goes against my brothers. If I'm anything, and I mean anything, even if it's a video game that I'm horrible at, I want to beat them. And if I go against my friends it could literally be just getting to a house first in the car. I want to win or else I'll be mad. I will genuinely be mad. When my brothers used to beat me when I was little in anything, even just doing a flip on the trampoline, I would cry. I would be so disappointed in myself. But that's what made me the person I am today. But I'm competitive. If you could think of the littlest thing, I'm going to even if it's drawing a straight line, I want to win. Because I'm not very good at drawing a straight line. I'm not going to lie.
One thing that I'm very competitive at is whistling. But guess what? I can't whistle.
You can't whistle and you're competitive at it?
And I hear people doing it and I'm like, stop showing off. Because I can't do it and I've never been able to.
I can whistle.
I try. This is me.
Or you have to blow out.
I'm blowing out.
Oh. Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just be trying because I'm so competitive and I don't want to give up.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
That's good though.
Yeah.
It's a good mindset.
It is. So having those older brothers has really, really helped you.
For sure.
It sounds like, because they've just like pushed you, and it sounds like they were very active too. So
They definitely bullied me.
they bullied you
Hard.
Now, what's their ages?
My oldest brother, I think, is 23, almost 24 in September. And then my middle brother is 20.
So yeah, they've got some. So that your oldest brother has some age on you.
For sure. And we always get told that we're like exactly alike. So we always butted heads when we were little. But yeah.
And that probably has to do with the competitiveness.
For sure.
Like
We're all just as competitive as the other.
He was so much older than you, though. You're trying to compete.
Oh, no,
with
we
this
wrestled. Like, I wrestled. I full on wrestled with my brothers. I would lose every time, but I still did it. I was not going to give up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I have a younger brother, so we would get competitive sometimes, but I was a good bit bigger than him.
Yeah.
So I'd always kind of push
They were
it over
always
the
bigger
edge,
than
and
me.
we would kind of have to stop. But,
Yeah.
out of all the athletes that you know, personally, what is the common like key to their success? You know, we talked about you being very competitive. What about, like, are there some other factors, or if you can think of like a few players right now or other athletes, it doesn't even have to be soccer. What are some key common, things that they all have that you see that helps them become those great athletes besides skill?
Yeah, right. Definitely dedication and drive. Those are two really big things that I've learned from older people, or even younger people sometimes have taught me that dedication and drive will get you where you want to be. Just keeping your head up and pushing yourself even when you fail. They all have that common theme. Like, everyone's going to fail a lot in their life, but it's that dedication and drive that's going to push you to overcome the failure and succeed. And that's what I've learned definitely from a lot of other players.
So drive and dedication.
For sure, those two words, the two Ds, yep.
That's good. Have you seen players that don't have that are talented?
Always. For sure, yeah. People will go through the motions and still even succeed sometimes, but later on they're not going to. They're going to realize it's going to catch up with them, that without having those qualities in a person, that it's going to come back and bite you in the butt, and it's not going to help you in the future. Not just with soccer or sports, like with work, with life, with relationships, stuff like that. If you don't have those two qualities, it's going to hurt you later.
That's true. Where do you think you get that from? Or these other athletes, like, where do you think they find this dedication and drive? Do you think it's coached into them at a young age, like, or family? What do you think?
You definitely hear it from coaches, but I feel like it's kind of an instinct. If you want to be something greater than you are now, which I hope everyone does, then you're just going to realize on your own that you need those qualities, and that people older than you have succeeded, like professional athletes have succeeded with those two things and more. They put their body on the line. So those things, like, people really need to just realize that it's going to help.
When is a time in your life where you've needed dedication the most, do you think? Can you think of a time?
I kind of hit a breaking point, to be honest, like freshman year, where I was just like worn out and tired, and I was realizing why I wanted to do this. But the dedication with even like this summer going into college, like, I was tired. Like, every day I was running because I wanted to come in prepared. But having that dedication that I needed to be fit before coming in, not get fit when I'm there, is going to help me now. And it helped me this past weekend when we were doing fitness tests and running and practice. It's going to help me later. So that's what I realized freshman year, that, like, that's what I wanted to do and wanted to be, even if it's going to hurt sometimes. So having the dedication to just keep pushing has helped me in a lot of ways.
And what would be your advice to, hopefully athletes that are younger than you watch this and hear this? What advice do you have for them to have that drive and dedication mindset? Like, you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but what are things they should be thinking about, like, to get that drive?
Yeah. I mean, you got to make sure you love what you're doing. First of all, like, just because somebody's telling you to do it doesn't mean you should be doing it or have to do it. So making sure that you love what you're doing, really, like truly thinking about it and knowing that, like, even though I'm going to go through pain sometimes, like, that I love what I'm doing. So that's a big part, but also just overcoming things to be the greatest version of you is really important. And not just sports, but anything. So for the little people that are like listening, the younger people, just to push yourself and love what you're doing and making sure that you love what you're doing, even if you're going to have, like, everyone's going to have a breaking point, but if you just have to overcome that and know that you love what you're doing, it's really important.
And well, let's say they do love it, okay? And you're coming in again, and you talked about it, the freshmen coming in, no matter what level you are, if you're the rookies coming in, the mindset there is what? I mean, you talked a little bit about, like, your mindset should be coming in and wanting to learn everything you can. What else is running through your mind, like, coming in as a freshman again?
Yeah. Just because I'm a freshman doesn't mean I can't be doing what a senior's doing. So I think that's what you got to tell yourself, is just because you're the younger class doesn't mean that you can't be as good or even better than older people. So that's what I kind of tell myself, that I'm looking up to them, but I'm also competing with them to get playing time and to be on the field, which is going to be very difficult. But I just have to tell myself that just because they're older and stronger and they've gone through the years, that I can do just as good as they are doing if I just put my body on the line and work hard.
Have you thought about at all and this is going a little bit further into the future. Well, actually, what are you wanting to go to school to do? Like, do you know what you want to study?
I'm majoring in exercise science.
To
be a physical therapist.
So
I want to stay in sports, kind of doing athletes. Yeah, right, for sure.
And there's a lot of more jobs coming out in that field all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
My brother just graduated from UNC Wilmington, and he's looking to go to grad school now. Exactly the same thing. Couldn't give up on being around sports and things, so he's trying to set himself up to be around it. That's really cool. And it could change. You never know.
It definitely could. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was even juggling between like criminal justice, which is completely different. I've always been into that kind of stuff, which is kind of weird.
What do you mean, that kind of stuff?
Like forensic scientists and stuff like that. And like, I've always watched Criminal Minds. But yeah, but I think exercise science is more realistic for me. So, and it's going to be about realistic rather than being in Criminal Minds. Being like a Criminal Minds detective. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. My neighbor growing up, I don't know if I'm allowed to say exactly what she does, but she does some work like that. Yeah. And, you know, I'm sure she didn't think that going into it, you know, and she probably got a criminal justice degree to start off. And now she's doing all kinds of like investigation work like that. Yeah. Like the CSI type stuff. So you never know.
I know. We'll see.
That's awesome. Any other advice you would give to what advice would you give to athletes that are or to younger players that are going to be playing high school and club ball this season? Yeah. Like the mentality they should have on the field.
Well, Bucky McCarley always taught us that to first be a good teammate, and I think that's important on the field. Don't just focus on yourself. You know, like you want to be a really good player and be this big time athlete, but your teammates are going to get you there too. They're going to push you. So I think being a really amazing teammate first before focusing on just being the best person for you and only you is really important, to have people that you want to make proud, and them being the same age as you and even older, that you want to make them proud by helping the team. And I think that's really important that Bucky taught us that. And I'm going to definitely use that for the rest of my life, just to be a great teammate first and make them proud and push yourself for them, not only yourself.
Have you ever been in an instance where that was very, very tough with
for
certain
sure.
teammates?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, like, you're not always going to like, you know, get along with everybody and stuff, but at the end of the day, you are teammates. Like, you're a team. Like, that's the big word. Like, you're there together. You're going through everything else together. Even if sometimes somebody looks like they're slacking, like, they're your teammates and you have to push yourself for them. even if you don't get along off the field. Like on the field, you should act like you're best friends and that you're going to get this in together and you're going to win together because you ultimately have the same goals. So why not do it together and why not play hard together because you can't do it all on your own.
I like it. Mm-hmm. What do you feel about like communication off the field? Should like what is that? Should teams be in group chats and be talking to each other?
For sure, like all the time. And it should not always be about soccer. Like let's hang out, let's go get ice cream, let's go to the movies. Like I've definitely done that with teams in the past. Just hanging out and getting to know each other off the field and building relationships and knowing each other other than how they play on a soccer field and how their attitude is on a soccer field, because somebody can be completely different like me. Like I'm not stern off the field always. I'm like laughing with my team, and if you build relationships off the field, you're going to have them on the field like naturally. So it's really important.
Do you talk soccer off the field with teammates?
Yeah. Yeah, all the time still. Like, because that's like our common theme that we like, both of us like. We know each other like soccer, and we know we like to watch it and play it. So we definitely still talk about it. It's not always so serious. Like we'll joke about other teams or stuff like that, or joke about our own team. But we definitely talk about plays and like how we can beat this team later on, even though like in this part we didn't do as good as we want to next time. But that's like a brief conversation, and then we get on to joking.
Right, you just filter that in.
Yeah,
if you think
it's
about
like
it,
casually.
You just throw it out there, and then you get back to whatever you're talking about. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen you play other sports besides soccer. I've seen you play basketball before with a couple of your other teammates.
Yes.
I'm not going to make a comment on that, but are there any? What are some things you are not good at?
Yeah, a lot of things. Like I'm not good at a lot of things. I can't even lie. Like I was never good at gymnastics. Never did that good. I'm not good at even walking straight. I have pigeon toes. Like I'm going to trip over myself all the time, 24/7. I'm not good at cleaning my room. My room's always a mess. I'm a procrastinator.
So good luck to your upcoming roommate.
Yeah, for sure. She already knows. I told her. But it'll be a smaller room though, so hopefully I'll keep it all compact and tight.
Way worse.
I know. But I'm a big procrastinator too. Which athletes should not be procrastinators, considering we're on a schedule 24/7. But I'm definitely a procrastinator.
I think most athletes are.
Okay, good. Then it's not just me.
And that's why them being on a schedule usually hides it. And it keeps them from doing that. And I think that's why I like being in athletics, because you don't have all that downtime to waste and do nothing. Like you're actually.
But when I have the downtime, I'm going to waste it and just lay there. Yeah.
Which is you just got to stick to the schedule. You didn't name a lot of things you weren't good at, though. You just.
I named a lot. I'm not good at walking.
I forgot about that one.
I'm not good at gymnastics.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
I was never really good at dance either. Like,
where do you think you are on the basketball level?
Okay, you saw a bad representation of me. I
wouldn't say you were the worst one out there. I wouldn't say that.
Well, yeah, we know it was Caitlin, but I played basketball 8th grade year, and I made the team after not ever picking up a basketball and I didn't know the rules. I didn't know the rules at all, which is really bad. Like, I played every game, like, scared out of my mind because I did not know the rules, and I looked so dumb.
You're just athletic.
Yeah. I just wanted to do it to stay fit for soccer because they're different seasons. And I knew the coach in middle school was really hard and, like, made people run for no reason. So, like, I was like, okay, I want to do that.
That was in your 8th grade head.
Yeah.
That they're going to make you run a lot for no reason, and that's why you wanted to be on the team.
Yep, because I wanted to be fit.
Said no one ever. I'm sure no one has ever said that before.
I know. I don't know why I chose that, but I did because whatever. And I didn't want to do anything else. Like my best friend's a cheerleader, and she would cheer for me while I was a basketball player, and she would just laugh the whole time because I just looked so dumb. Like I would go full like sprint to the other side and do a layup and just completely miss. Be all alone and just miss.
As long as you're shooting on the right goal.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no, we had somebody not shoot on the right goal, and it was really funny.
From your team?
Oh, yeah. But it was whatever.
Wow. You thought you didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah, we went 2-10.
I was about to ask you what
we went 2-10. We weren't the best, but whatever. We had fun doing it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. You look like you're having fun.
Yeah. When I am not very good at basketball.
Yeah.
Or pretty much any other sport besides soccer. I'm like okay at everything.
Well,
sports related.
The thing you're the best at, soccer.
For sure.
What is from your high school experience, we've been there with you all 4 years. Mm-hmm. What was your favorite goal you ever scored?
The second goal in the semifinals.
The one we talked about?
For sure. Either that or freshman year conference championship. We unfortunately ended up losing in overtime. No, PKs. We ended up losing in PKs.
Against Porter Ridge.
Right. And I was a freshman, and we were down 1-0 with 1 goal or 1 minute left in the game. And I remember it was Katie Little put in a big ball free kick from half field. And I literally just kicked it, like, behind me. And it went in, and it was the best. Just, like, seniors, like, screaming and hugging me, like, just really made me feel good. So either that or the semifinal games, but...
You just gave me chills.
Yeah. It was really... I still go back and watch it today just to, like, reminisce on it, but it was amazing, yeah. What was
going through your head or after you scored that? Like, what was the difference in all the other goals?
Yeah.
'Cause there's a lot of other goals.
I mean, being that freshman that, like, sealed the deal for that game and then going into overtime, it gave me an adrenaline rush. I honestly don't even remember what happened. Like, I kind of blacked out for a second because I was like, what just happened? Bucky, like, pulled me aside and was like, for a freshman to go up and do that is really important, that, like, even with a minute left, she didn't give up. And he told the team that, and that gave me a motivation for the next 3 years in that to be a leader no matter how old I was. So, I mean, I honestly blacked out, like, in my mind when that happened. I was like, literally, what just happened? But after that, I could tell everyone was, like, uplifted, and everybody, like, in overtime, we were killing it. And we should have won the game. We definitely should have, but we didn't, which was fine. But, yeah, it definitely gave me chills all down my body.
You're giving me chills right now. I remember
it was amazing.
That game.
Yeah.
And what about the semifinal one?
Yeah, that was just, like, amazing because being a junior we never gone to the state finals, like, in Myers Park history or even won a semifinals game. We were up 1-0 second half, and I scored, and then I came out because I got hurt. And then I came back in. I think it was, like, 9 minutes later I had the second, and I don't even know how I scored it because it was like top of the 18. I'd never score goals like that.
I'm trying to remember this one.
Yeah, it was a free kick from, I remember it perfectly. I remember when it went through my head, actually. It was a free kick from Megan Frost, and I was like, okay, well, sometimes Bucky always says anticipate the ball that will, like, hit the first forward's head and go over. And Amanda Steins tried to head it, and it barely touched her, and it passed their defender, and it was a 1v1 kind of. And so I just, like, I shot it from the top of the 18, and it went up left upper 90. And it was amazing. Like, just turning and seeing Olivia Hollidge, who was a senior, like smiling from ear to ear, just made me feel amazing. And hearing the big crowd just screaming, that was definitely an amazing goal because it sealed it for the finals, even though it got stressful because it then came to 2-1. But we ended up pulling it through and going there and getting there.
What do you like better? You like scoring goals like that? Well, of course you're going to like scoring goals like that. But do you like scoring the goals and them coming to you in the box and putting them in? Or do you like being able to be crafty and set up plays and get some assists and things like that?
Yeah, scoring goals is always amazing, but I think being a playmaker is really fun because you're setting up goals for other people to, like, finish it themselves and get that excitement as well. Because as a center forward, you're going to score a lot. You're right in front of the goal. Like, if it's going to be a toe tap or a shot, you're most of the time going to be there versus other people. So I think it's fun to, like, have other people have the opportunities to show off what they can do because they're just as good and they can be just as good. So I think it's definitely fun to play that through ball and have somebody sprint full pace and just bury it in the back of the goal. But I think I like that better, to be honest, because scoring goals, like, my cheers are horrible. People always make fun of me because half the time I just turn around and I'm like, yay, like, woohoo.
I've seen you a lot of times. You just score, you're just like,
yeah, I'm just like, finally. Because I've had times where I haven't scored the whole game and we're winning 7-0. And I'm like, what is happening? So when I finally score, I'm just like, oh my gosh, thank God. Finally.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely playmaking is more fun.
We can work on your celebrations.
I know, we need to. We really need to. Because I'm more of like, winter. Just like, yay, I scored. Like, it's my job.
I envision you I'm trying to think of a lot of the celebrations you've had. I think you just like you find the New Year's person and you just like embrace them.
Yeah, that's a big one. I see the first person and then we just like hug. Yeah.
If you could go back and change, we talked about your career, you know, at least a lot of your high school career. If you could go back and change anything in your career, would there be something that you could change? Maybe I don't know. It could be anything.
That's hard.
That is very hard. Because, you know, you still want to be at where you are today.
Yeah.
But is there anything that you would change? Would you start doing something earlier? Would you not get an injury maybe that you had? I don't know.
Luckily, I haven't really been injured, so like knock on wood. But yeah, I don't know if this is wood. But definitely, I think pushing myself harder earlier, because I think, which sounds a little weird because like I've always been playing soccer 24/7, but usually on the off season, I tend to take the off season and just really just chill out, which is good for like a period of time. But I think if I had to go back, I could have been a stronger player now if, you know, in the summers I wasn't just hanging out with friends, because I know I wanted to go further with this. And just working and running like I did this past summer, like all the time, because I was running because I knew I had to run for a fitness test, but I should have been running and working hard and playing with the ball just to do it. So that's one thing I probably should have changed about how I was coming up, especially starting freshman year, because it was pretty much just relying on practice. But I should have like gone in the backyard, which I'm doing now, so I'm happy I'm doing it now. But just going in the backyard, juggling on a random day, just getting touches more often than I was. That's definitely a big thing, just on my own, just focusing on myself with headphones in and just playing around. It doesn't have to be serious or fast or hard, but just getting a touch on the ball every chance I can.
Is that what you're doing now?
Yeah.
A lot of time when you have off time, you put some headphones in, listen to some music?
The summer going in to this past weekend was so stressful because that's all I was doing. I was just pretty much, it was a lot of running because I knew that fitness tests I'm not always the best at. Luckily I passed both, but I'm not always the best at fitness tests because it's more of a mentality thing than it's like mind over matter. So I wanted to get my body in the best shape I could. So I go in not behind everyone else, and so I can focus on soccer when I got there, rather than like focusing on getting my fitness up. So yeah, this past summer, like it was the death of me, but it was worth it.
I always tell that to freshmen going in.
Yeah.
The biggest advantage you can have and put a light on you in the coach's eyes is to come in fit.
Yeah.
Like that's a good chance of you being able to, even if it's getting minutes in an overtime game because they need to throw someone in there to run.
Yeah.
Like be fit.
For sure.
And I guess that's a good point to bring up to other athletes too, is to have that time in the summer with your friends, but if you're taking it serious, like if you're at home and you're not hanging out with your friends, don't just chill out and see what everybody's doing on the gram, right?
Yeah.
Like get some touches on the ball, even if it's jammed to some music or whatever, right?
Yep.
You have been doing a lot of training this summer. What all have you been doing? Have you been doing some new stuff? Like you said, you were doing some one-on-ones. Have you been doing a lot of new stuff that you haven't done before?
Yeah. One-on-ones make you push hard because everything's focused on you. If you mess up, we're like the coach is watching. Like he's gonna see you mess up, and it's gonna get. It definitely got in my head. Sometimes I was like, oh, like how am I missing this? Like I gotta like do better than this. But yeah, it was stressful, and like he did a lot of new things with me that I've never done before. Like I've never practiced a free kick or done things like that, and he made me just sit there and juggle for like 5 minutes just to get touches. Because it was going to help me with my first touch a lot. And it was just a lot of one-on-one action, like hard, like you have to keep running, you have to keep working. And it's going to like be really tiring, but it was definitely new because I've never actually done a one-on-one with a coach, which I probably should have, like I said. But yeah, he pushed me to my limits because it was hot too. It was like 89 degrees out there. But yeah, he did a lot with me.
Wow.
But it's going to help me. So it was all worth it.
What is your favorite practice, your favorite drills? Like, what is that? Is it shooting drills?
For sure. For sure. Like, except one time this year with Bucky, we did a shooting drill. and it was only focused on the center forwards, and I was about to pass out. Like on turf, I was like, this is so hard. Because I'm returning really fast. I was like getting dizzy, and he made somebody bring me water, and I was like, this is my fault. Like I did not hydrate well enough for this. But yeah, shooting gallery is like really fun for me, just because that's a big part. Like I just got to work on my shooting a lot, because I think I'm pretty good with balls at my feet, but like sometimes my shooting's a little off and inaccurate. So that's something I got to focus on because I'm going to be doing that a lot. But yeah, shooting drills are by far my favorite. Anyone who says it's not, they're lying. Even defenders love shooting drills.
Have you got to see, have you trained with the team yet at all?
Yeah.
You have
This past weekend was just captain's preseason.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What would you say, like, is it a lot higher level? Is it what you expected?
See, I expected it, but I didn't at the same time. Like I knew I was coming into it, but at the same time I didn't feel it yet. And now I'm starting to feel it on the third day. But they're very fast. They're very talkative. It's very quick. It's like you need to be having like eyes in the back of your head at all times because the ball's going to come out of nowhere. But yeah, we like did a little 8v8 yesterday. And it was so intense because it's just very quick and fast. And, okay, move the ball, now move your body, now move again, and now shoot it, and now track back and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very fast, like faster than I've ever played before, which is good.
That was the biggest thing I wanted to ask you was how fast was it?
Yes, it's very fast. It's very quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about their actual physical speed from, like, player to player? Like, running fast.
Yeah. We haven't played a lot of like long distance yet because it was just captain's preseason. But and we had fitness tests on top of it. Like right before we would play, we had fitness. It was just it was hard. But they're all like physically and mentally there. Like they're gonna like do everything they can. A lot of them are very strong and very fast. Like legs are extremely muscular, like I've never seen before. So hopefully I can get to that. But you can just tell in their body and how they act that like they really care about what they're doing. But yeah, like people running those fitness tests and going over what the minimum was, like way over. I was like, I look up to you because I hope I can do that one day. But yeah,
because you pushed a lot to get there this year.
Yeah,
and they're still like,
they're still going.
Wow.
Yeah,
but you passed all your fitness.
Yeah,
tests?
Luckily, and that was hard.
Yeah,
I had one yesterday and it was so hard.
Yeah.
I was like, because it was on the third day after doing training and stuff, so my legs were just heavy. But I passed, so it's okay.
Ooh.
So I don't have to do extra running.
What are some other who are some other freshmen that you're excited that are on your team this year that you already know?
So there's 7 of us, and 2 are from Raleigh and 1's from West Virginia, and then the other ones who I'm rooming with, my roommate is on CSA North. So we played against each other like every single year, and we were always each other's competitors because she's like on an attacking mid center forward kind of thing, and I was our center forward. So we always knew each other. And
Who
then
is that?
Julia Patron. God, she's gonna kill me. How do you say her last name?
Julie. Okay.
Julia.
Yeah. Okay.
And she plays, I think, Concord Mills? No, that's a freaking mole. Oh my gosh. Wait, Concord. Yeah.
There's Concord,
Spiders.
There's Central Cabarrus, there's
Concord Spiders.
Spiders? I didn't know there was
I know there are spiders. I know there's spiders.
Okay.
But, and then Peyton Cullen.
Yes.
Yeah, I played with her since I was 8. I've known her for so long. So I'm really excited to play with her. We were like kind of each other's running buddies. In the fitness test, we stayed next to each other just to make sure we were on time with everything. And then Sela Gaylor is also one of my really good friends because I played with her a few years ago.
And she's from, where's she?
Sela's from like South Carolina. So
okay.
What school did she go to?
I don't know. Who knows the school?
I don't know. But Peyton was on Cox Mill.
Peyton. Yeah, I know Peyton. Mm-hmm. I know Peyton.
Yeah.
Which one of those players was injured this past year, weren't they?
Sela
was.
Well, and Jules, actually. Julia
is the one that I saw injured.
Yeah, they both were injured. Season. Yeah. She had like ankle problems. But she's back now, so it's okay. But yeah, Sela had like something wrong with her knee. She was out she just got back 2 weeks ago. So it was definitely hard for her coming in after only being cleared 2 weeks ago. So yeah,
I'm sure they're dealing with a lot mentally too. Yeah, just getting off those injuries and stuff.
Yeah, but they're great people.
Sydney, she's
the year below me. But I've met her a few times. We definitely get along very well. Yeah. We're very similar. It's funny. Yeah, she's funny.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Interesting. How do you stay on top moving forward? what's the biggest thing moving forward for you? You've talked about a lot of things that you want to improve and want to be good at, but what's the biggest thing moving forward to help you stay on top?
Yeah. Just knowing the level I'm at, nothing is ever gonna be the best. Like I have to keep pushing myself, like it can never be good enough. Like I always have to be like getting better and better and stuff. So, not comparing myself to older players. Like I think comparing myself is gonna set me lower than I want to be. So I think just like focusing on like how I want to play and how I want to give to the team and what I want to do and bring my style in and fit it in, just like pushing myself, really keeping it. It's all going to be mentally for me. Like just telling myself like it hurts, but I need to go further. Like just like your body can do it if you just tell yourself to do it. So,
how do you think it's going to be with your studies and stuff as your freshman year?
I have no idea. Like,
have you always done well in your studies?
I mean, yeah, like I've always had A's and B's, but it's definitely, I think it's gonna be hard for me because like I said, I'm a procrastinator, so it's really pretty much just soccer is what I'm like. Okay, I really got to be focused on soccer, but now I really like. And this senior year for me was really easy when it came to like education because I already got into Charlotte and I had all my credits and all of that stuff. But going into Charlotte now with the college courses and stuff like that from like 8 a.m. to 12 on top of practice, it's definitely going to be hard, but it's not going to be impossible. So like just making sure that I'm getting things done when I need to get done. And we have mandatory study hall for athletes. So it'll definitely push me to get there. I'll be fine.
Do you... How often do you think you're going to see your parents? Or how often do you want to see your parents?
All the time. Are you kidding me? Any moment I have, if it is a night for a party, I'm going home. I'm going home to see my family.
I can't blame you. Your parents are awesome.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely when I left on Friday, literally I was going to be back today or yesterday just for a day off because today's my day off. When I left on Friday, I was like bawling. I was like, no, I'm going 30 minutes away. But yeah, I'm going to see them all the time. Like they're going to be at every game. My mom always jokes about like, is there any openings at Charlotte for me to be like, to have a job? But yeah, I'm always going to see them. I'm not worried about that.
What's your relationship with them? You talk to them about everything? You talk to your mom about everything?
My mom and I know everything and anything about each other. Like, we are very open with each other, tell each other everything. There's no secrets. My dad sometimes doesn't know everything, but yeah, our whole family is very close. My middle brother is actually going to go to Charlotte this year, so we'll be right beside each other, which he'll, like, look out for me and stuff. Both my brothers are very protective.
Oh, he goes there, okay.
Yeah, he will be this year. But yeah. They're great people. They're like my best friends.
Has your mom, you talked about when you were young and your mom pushed you to go to that one practice, right, when you were younger. Has she had to do that since?
Oh, yeah. Every single day. If I scored 6 goals in a game, she'd be like, what about this pass? Like, you messed this up. And I'd be like, yeah, you're right. But, like, let me just be happy for a second. But she pushes me really hard, and she means so well. Like, it's going to help me in the future. Like, I need to be pushed. But yeah, my mom is definitely my number one supporter and also a pain. Like she definitely pushes me really, really hard, and expects a lot, which she should. Like she needs to push me, and I need to never feel comfortable enough to think I'm okay where I am. But yeah, and so do my brothers. Like my brothers are always at my games. My dad, they're always there, it makes me feel really good, especially when my brothers go because they could just be sitting at home and just chilling.
Right.
So, but yeah, they're all really big supporters and they all push me really hard and know that I can be something greater than I am now. So yeah. Yeah,
I think our moms are similar in that way. Where like your mom, like I would talk to her and she's excited, right?
Yeah.
But she's not going to show that excitement.
Yep.
Like she keeps it inside. She's like, yeah, well, she did okay.
Yeah, exactly.
She's pumped how good of a game you did. But she just wants you to, she don't want you to get that big ego.
Yeah, right. She definitely wants to keep pushing me.
If there's one thing you're thankful for, would it be her? Would it be your family?
For sure. Like, no doubt in my mind. And my granddad was really close to me too. And he's my my mom's dad, and we were like best friends. And he was a college athlete. He played baseball at Wake Forest and was gonna be drafted, but blew out his knee, stuff like that. But he's kind of gave me that drive since I was little to be that competitor. But yeah, my family is like my number one support system, and they push me to keep going, and they're the reason why I want to keep going, especially just to make them proud because they know I can be something bigger.
Well, we wish you the best freshman season
Me too.
you could have this year at Charlotte. I know that we're going to have your schedule and, freshmen, who knows what, playing time, that kind of stuff looks like. But we will be there to support you. Anybody else that wants to come out and support her, I know she'd appreciate it.
I would. It's not that far.
Yeah, it's not far at all. It's just a drive over if you're locals to Charlotte. But we want to thank you for always having a friendly face with us. Anytime we've seen you, for remembering me from day one into your second season and helping us build what we've built here at Soccer Reels and our platform has been a huge help. And thank you to you, especially on the women's side of everything. I know Zev and I appreciate it a lot. So thank you for everything. And I know we're not done, and we're really excited that you're staying local so that we can go and watch you play. Because out of state or somewhere, it would be a lot harder to get to you. Right. So we're excited. But I think we would have still made the drive anyways.
Oh, thanks.
But we want to thank you for everything that you've done for us. And thanks for coming out here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thank you for giving me little videos that I can save for the rest of my life, my little highlights.
That's right.
Yeah, and all the games. I still go back and watch games.
Do you really?
For sure. I just texted Bucky that I rewatched the whole semifinals.
Oh, my gosh.
I did.
If you ever need anything like that, any extra stuff, let me know. But yeah, we go back and watch. We don't go back and watch full games from way back, but we do go back and watch like clips and exciting stuff like that. So,
little memories.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks for having me.